What's going on, Council? Welcome back for another One Piece review. The Voyage continues with episode 1118. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to join the council and become a part of the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody, thank you all for joining me for another week of One Piece. As always, I hope everybody's doing super fantastic. So for this week, everybody, we're going to be skipping the 1118 reaction this week because we got a lot of lore information from the King Cobra from this episode. So it's a big lore dump episode, everybody. So step with me into my lab to discuss and break this down, everybody. So we're just gonna be doing the 1118 discussion. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a long one. So bear with me. Strap in, everybody. Let's get it. All right, everyone. So we're going to be starting off the 1118 discussion with all these small miscellaneous stuff from 1118, and then we're going to get to all the cool new lore stuff that King Cobra talked about afterwards, everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the episode 1118 starts off with Sabo casually taking out some guards and securing the keys to the slave callers. While he is achieving this goal, he met up with Bonny and she entrusted saving Kuma to Sabo and the Revolutionary Army, everybody. She tells Sabo that she is going to Egghead and to go to talk to Dr. Vegapunk and have him restore Kuma's sense of self. That's what I'm talking about. This is the entire reason she sets out to see, Bonny states. Afterwards, Sabo gets Bonny to a safe place and they say their goodbyes. Sabo heads off to the Lost Chamber. Now, it's always cool, to see Sabo doing some cool stuff, even though, it was only small at the very beginning that we got. It's always cool seeing Sabo doing some cool stuff, right? Getting into some action. And also, it will never not be funny to me that Sabo uses that pipe to fight, because in a world full of pirates and devil fruit users, this man just saw a broken pipe and just said, yeah, this is the perfect weapon, right? This man has been religiously using this pipe as a weapon and been beaten ass religiously with it. It's just crazy. I just always find that funny. And then secondly, it is cool to hear Bonny's reasoning for going out to sea. This is just a friendly reminder that, not every pirate sets sail to go and get the One Piece. Some people have, everyone has their own different reason. It's more prominent. We can see that reason and stuff like that with our set crew and whatnot, with the Straw Hat crew. But with the other pirates, we sometimes forget that not everybody sets out to sea just to go and get the One Piece, everybody. But let's go ahead and continue here. So concurrently happening at the same time, Saint Carlos and his father ordered Kuma to subdue Princess Shirahoshi, and they are attempting to enslave her once again. Thankfully, our friends from Dressrosa, Sei, and Leo, as well as Morley of the Revolutionary Army, pulled up to save the princess, everybody. Sei and Leo swiftly stops Carlos, and Morley retrieves Kuma and proceeds to leave. Now, not much to say here. Just thank you, Sai and Leo, for finally putting hands on St. Carlos. Somebody had to do it. I'm tired of him. Somebody had to go ahead and knock him upside his head. While you at it, you might as well go and get his father while he's right there as well. Don't leave him out. Go ahead and kick him upside the head as well. You feel me? He deserved it too. Just go ahead and do that for me as well. Also, shout out to our boy Marley. He's showing why the perks of being a giant. My boy pulled up and just grabbed Kuma like it was nothing. No effort at all. Just swiftly grabbed him and said, hey, we going home. You ain't got to do this no more. Let's go, and bounce. And just like it was nothing. Shout out to Morley, everybody. Right now, this is looking like an effortless win. And also on top of Morley, this man, not only did he just pull up and fight an admiral like it was nothing, then he just left him and just swiftly came and grabbed Kuma like it was nothing. Is Morley OP? Is Morley OP? We might have to have a discussion right now. Morley might be OP, everybody, because he just walking around Marie's Wild like it's nothing, just doing as he please. It's crazy. But right now, it's looking like an effortless win for the Revolutionary Army. We haven't really had no casualties, nothing, no misbacks or misstepbacks, besides the one death of Saint Cobra that we know is inevitable here. But not Saint Cobra, King Cobra. Oh my god. Of King Cobra, the inevitable death of King Cobra that we know that's gonna happen here soon. But other than that, this looks like it's gonna be a swift win for the Revolutionary Army. Everybody, yeah, they pulled up and whooped. But I guess you can say they did have the element of surprise, so that does help. Why would they be expecting to be attacked, at their Holy Land way at the top of, the red line, right? So it's not the easiest to attack. It is, a very defensible place. So they did have the element of surprise. So I guess you can use that as a dub. But regardless, they, looks like they're just gonna come in here, do as they please effortlessly, which is amazing. But now let's go ahead and get to all the cool new lore stuff that we got from King Cobra, everybody. All right, everybody. So King Cobra dropped a lot of lore on us this episode, and I mean a lot of lore, but it was wonderful. It was great. I loved it. This is what I've been waiting on. Stuff like this gets me excited, and now I'm definitely excited to, continue Kuma backstory whenever we get back around to that. I ain't forget about you, Kuma, right? Because just AK has been great with all the cool lore droppings that we begin this arc, man. It's just been wonderful. But yeah, it was a lot of stuff that King Cobra talked about. And, just like he said, I didn't even know where to begin, everybody. But, step into my office because we're going to break this down, everybody. We're going to break this down. So this is how we're going to do this. So I took the liberty of gathering all the important information that King Cobra, said into my nice little docket here. And we're going to go through that information, everybody. And we're going to break it down, essentially one by one, or I guess more like statement by statement, if you will. It is a lot though, like I said, King Cobra gave us a lot of stuff. So I am gonna, like I said, be reading through the script here. So bear with me, but it should be a good time, everybody. We're gonna break down this and have a great discussion. So let's go ahead and get started. So once again, everybody, from the words of King Cobra. So the world government was founded by 20 monarchs 800 years ago. As the creators of the world, they relocated their families to Maurice Joie, and they eventually became known as the Celestial Dragons, and they have been reigning over the world for over 800 years. Okay, pause here. So why I think this is important? Why? Because one, this just confirms and establishes that, the first 20, they did not originate from Maurice Joie. They originated from their, the different kingdoms from around the world and the globe. And the reason why that is important is because there had to be a special reason or a special thing about Maurice Joie for them to want to move there, right? What was so special about Maurice Joie that you guys wanted to move there? Especially considering that they can't grow like natural resources and stuff. They can't grow natural resources up there. There's probably no natural water and things of that nature up there. We already had this conversation that they have to get most of their resources exported to them, right? So if this location is all bare and dry and of natural resources and stuff, what would make you want to move here? What was special about this land, right? Was this the land of the previous advanced kingdom that you just fought against, right? You just took their land from them. Was that the case? There had to be some reason, something special about Maurice Joie, that the reason why they chose this place to move to, right? Because they could have moved anywhere in the world, but we want to go move 1,000 feet in the land on top of the red line where there's no agriculture, up there and stuff like that. Like, make it make sense, right? So it had to be something special about Maurice Joie for them to want to move there, right? And if it was the route of them going with like this was the original home of the Advanced Kingdom, stuff like that, and they just took that from them, then that slightly strengthens the Advanced Kingdom or the Lunarians theory slightly, just because if they were, say, if people could live up there, right, I believe they would be able to do it. One, for many reasons. One, because we know they can fly, right? So they can easily go down and up to get resources if they need them. And then two, they were advanced kingdom. They were thousands of years ahead of anybody else, hundreds of years ahead of anybody else. Who's to say they didn't figure out how to grow crops up there? Already, right? And then just whenever the Celestial Dragons got there, they messed up everything, and now it's just red rock, right? Who's to say that they didn't, like I said, that they didn't conquer agriculture up there on the red line, and they actually could grow crops and stuff up there? We just don't know, right? But let's continue on here. So inside, the 20 monarchs treated each other equally, and to avoid any of them rising to become a dictator, they intentionally installed an empty throne and placed their weapons around it as a symbol of the oath that no one would sit there. Pause again. Now, this might be the most important line that we got from King Cobra, everybody. And the reason why I say that is because I believe this line right here, or this statement, gives us a little bit insight into the characteristics of Imu-sama. What do I mean by that, right? Well, so we know that they made an oath, right? So, and if that means Imu-sama, sitting on the world throne and doing all that, whatever he or she is trying to do now, they are breaking said oath. And now we get to ask ourselves, okay, well, did Imu-sama never really believe in the oath, when they made it 800 years ago? Has he always been, pulling this scheme, this trickery on on all the other monarchs and things of that nature, right? Has he always been pulling this scheme? Or did something happen, over the past 800 years, or maybe even, during the Voyage century, that made him want to break the oath? Maybe not during the Voyage century, they made the oath after, they won the war and everything, right? So, did something happen, over these past 800 years that made him want to break the oath, right? It's very important. Also, on top of that, if Imu-sama is one of the original monarchs from 800 years ago, right? How the hell is this man or woman, whoever they are, right? How are they still alive, right? How are they still alive for 800 years? How did they live for 800 years? Even the five elders, have they also been alive for 800 years, or has the five elders been swapped around over these past 800 years? And also, speaking on top of that, I'm sorry guys, I'm also rambling here, but also, on top of that, the other original monarchs, right? Is Imu-sama the only original monarch left, right? And this is also important, right? Because if there's other original monarchs left, right, that would mean they would know about Imu-sama's existence, unless he like fake their death or something like that. They should know about Imu-sama's existence, right? So, and if that is the case, I'm pretty sure, they wouldn't want Imu-sama breaking the oath and, trying to take over the world and sitting on the throne, right? So, it is important to know whether Imu-sama is the only original monarch that's left or not from, the original 20, right? It's very important to know. But it's, yeah, just, what happened, right? Is Imu-sama did he never really truly believe in this oath? Has he been pulling a scheme for over this past 800, 1,000 years or whatever? Has he been pulling the scheme and all the strings this entire time, right? Did he coerce the other 20 monarchs to kind of, follow his lead and go and fight the advanced kingdom and things of that nature? Who knows? But it's, it's very important that now that we know that there was an oath made, that Imu-sama is breaking that oath, right? So, like, did something happen that make him want to break that oath? Or was he never for the oath to even begin with, right? It kind of, gives us little things to speculate about. Let's continue on here, everybody. So, meanwhile, in the 20 countries that lost their royal families, new monarchs were selected and have been in place ever since. Therefore, the names of the royal families of the first 20 have been removed from their home countries, but Alabasta was built different, everybody. Queen Lily of the Nefeltari family had her name remain in the first 20, but she did not become a celestial dragon and went back to Alabasta. So the Nefeltari family name still exists in her country. For that reason, to be exact, there are only 19 weapons surrounding the throne, which I thought was a cool little fact as well. But I'm going to continue reading here and read the rest of this. So, King Cobra goes to state that he has been reading all the old books that remain in his country, and that all we can know is the history written in the literature after the Voyage century. But it wasn't there. What wasn't there? Queen Lily's name, everybody. She never made it back to King Alabasta. Her younger brother ruled the country thereafter, and then he proceeds to ask the questions of the five elder. Could you tell me what you know? What happened to Lily? Could you tell, talk to me, you feel me? I'm a question of five others. They're like, we don't know what you're talking about. That was so long ago, that was 800 years ago. How could we possibly know? Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, right? Okay, so after that, then King Cobra asks them, then what is the D? What? Well, actually, a short letter she left 800 years ago has been passed down through our royal family for generations. So let me ask you one more time. What is the D? Finally. It's fine. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. We're finally hopefully, if Oda don't pull a fast one on us, we're finally gonna be getting some more information about the Will of D, right? Because there's no way that Queen Lily doesn't know, what the Will of D is, or has a clue, something about what the Will of D is, right? Because I'm pretty sure she left something mentioning the Will of D in her letter to the Nefeltari family, because why else would King Cobra be asking the five elders about what D is, right? So she probably left some type of message or some type of statement, reclaim remarks about the D in her message to the Nefeltari family, right? So that is cool. Hopefully we get to probably, we probably won't get the answer, but hopefully we get some answer, right? Some type of answer about the Will of D. But some more stuff that I did find odd that I wanted to talk about here, right? So King Cobra was talking about how all the family names of the first 20 was removed from their original homelands, right? Because all of the those monarchs, they moved up to Marie-Joie and to become the Celestial Dragons, right? But of course, the Nefeltari family, Alabasta, that was different. They kept their name in their kingdom. If that was the case, then why is the information on the Void Century missing, right? Also, on top of that, why is the information on Queen Lily missing, right? Because I'm pretty sure her brother wouldn't just forget about her, unless she was maybe young-ish. But even then, I'm pretty sure she had some role of tennis and stuff like that that wouldn't just forget about her, right? So did the Nefeltari family leave Queen Lily's name, the royal family, did they leave her name out of the Alabasta Kingdom history on purpose, right? To kind of maybe protect themselves in a sense, right? Because for whatever message that Lily may have left behind could have influenced them to leave her name out of history, right? So I just thought that was weird, right? It's especially the stuff with the Void Century being missing as well. But once again, they probably left that out on purpose as well. But nobody has information on the Void history except for the poneglyphs and stuff like that. But stop rambling, Alex. A lot of stuff. But just bear with me, everybody. This is a long session. King Cobra gave us a lot of stuff. Yeah, I just always thought that was an odd thing that none of the Void Century info was there, or any of the information on Queen Lily. But once again, that could be deliberate. But which this leads me to my next point in a one small theory that I wanted to talk about, everybody. So as we all know, none of us knows about where the Will of D came from, how these people are passing down their name and things of that nature. We just know that it's happening. One things that I always thought about, that like, where did this originate from, right? Like, how is this name getting passed down? And before I continue, I do want to read this small little quote from Corazon about the family of D, right, that we got back when we was learning about Doflamingo's past and things, and that back during the Dressrosa arc, right? So, the secret name of D, a fated family. Nobody knows the truth, but the name has been ceaselessly and secretly inherited throughout history across the world. And in some places, there are people who call the family of D the sworn enemy of the gods, right? That sounds like hatred, revenge, right? that passion has to come from somewhere. And what if that passion, that strength, that hatred came from the descendants of the original of the homeland of the original first 20, right? Because they left all their subjects and people behind. Only the royal family of the first 20 from their kingdoms and stuff went up to Marie-Joie, right? All the citizens and stuff, they stayed there. They stayed back. So maybe they grew resentment for the Celestial Dragons, for leaving them, stuff like that. Especially considering that they've had to fight this whole major war against this advanced kingdom, and the only people that got to reap the benefits was the royal families of all the different kingdoms, right? Wouldn't that make you resent them people too, right? You just had to go through this war, and then now you don't even get to reap any of the benefits, just the royal family does. That it sounds like hatred to me. I don't know. I just think it's something to look at there. Maybe like I said, maybe the descendants of the people from the homeland of the original first 20, maybe they are the ones who kind of like started this sworn enemy of the gods thing with the Will of D. But of course, there's more information and more story that we're going to be getting from King Cobra. So of course, we got to wait to hear the rest of the story from King Cobra, and that might not even be the whole truth. So, but still, we need more information. But it's just something to think about. Just something to think about. Because like I said, this that sense, this name and all this stuff, it had to come from somewhere. And who's to say it didn't come from those original people of those homeland of the homeland, the descendants of the original first 20 from their homelands, right? You know, from those people that they left behind, their citizens and stuff like that. Who's to say it didn't start with them? I wanted to say that maybe it kind of started with, like, you know, the advanced kingdom, but then at the same time, like, if they have been wiped out, how is their will getting passed down? Would it have been passed down like through maybe like the poneglyphs and stuff like that? But we know that like everybody like has access to the poneglyphs. So like, how would that have been? I don't know. It's just kind of iffy. Like, once again, you know, just something to think about. Just something to think about. Just something to think about. Also, another thing that I thought about this episode as well, with all of the, you know, original monarchs leaving their homeland to go to Marie Joie and things of that nature, right? You know, those islands could, you know, potentially still be there, you know, just like Alabasta. These could be places we have already visited before. We would never know, right? You know, it's been 800 years, you know, since these original monarchs left their kingdoms, stuff like that. Who's to say some of these places still even have kingdoms on them, right? Like, they could just be regular islands now, you know, without kingdoms, just, you know, with regular cities and stuff. You just never know. And then on top of that, right, that potentially Imusama's homeland is still out there, right? What if we could go visit Imusama's homeland and go learn more about him and things of that nature? That'll be cool. Or unless, you know, he got rid of it, you know, now that we know he has the power to kind of just completely obliterate islands, right? Maybe he, you know, tied up some loose ends, got rid of his homeland, you know, which brings me to another point. Is the location of Enies Lobby the original location of Imusama's homeland? Something to think about, right? Right, there's something to think about, because after I saw him destroy Lelouchia, and you know, it left that big crater similar to Enies Lobby, it made me think, oh well, dang, is this how this crater here at Enies Lobby got made? Did Emu destroy, you know, an island previously ago, you know, maybe some hundreds of years ago, right? And then if he did, what was the reason for it? What was that island? Maybe it was his homeland, you know. Now it's just once again, just questions that we can now ask ourselves, everybody. Just questions we can now ask ourselves. Oh man, but yeah, this was a great episode. A lot of lore that we got from King Cobra, everybody. A lot of lore. And once again, you know, some stuff here and there that slightly strengthens my the advanced kingdom was the Lunarians theory, just, you know, slightly. But definitely, I believe we need to hear more from Kuma's side as well to see to strengthen more my theory about that, because I do think Kuma is a Lunarian as well. I know you guys know I talked about that before as well. We definitely need to get back to that Kuma backstory, man. This information that we get from King Cobra has definitely got me excited for Kuma's backstory. I need it. What secrets are you hiding, Kuma? Stop hiding from me. What are you hiding? I need to know. Oh man, AKA has been a great time, everybody. I would love to, you know, chat with you guys in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thoughts on some of the stuff that I talked about. You know, it was a lot here once again, you know, that I was, you know, rambling on about. But once again, thank you guys for joining me for another week, and I hope you all have a great week, everybody. And I'll see you all next time for the 11/19 discussion, everybody. Peace.